have in your mind. Now we can get started, Joe, right?
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. So today's topic is going to be the top 5 design challenges faced by residential solar installers. So here at Arca 360, we have a unique position where we've taken all of our design software for both commercial and residential. Today, we're going to be focusing on residential, and we've compacted that into one do-it-all software. So as Sarosh mentioned, we're going to go over the challenges that are faced in the industry, but also how Arca 360 is solving those problems. You're going to see a real live demo of a design as well as the engineering standpoint. We're going to take some polls, answer your questions, and kind of just talk about, as Shane said, people talking to people, just talk about what's going on and how we're seeing it. I've said it before, but Arca 360 and everyone here at Arca comes from solar. We've all sat at the kitchen tables with the homeowners going over proposals. We've all been in the design studio building designs. We've all had our input, and we all continuously take input from our customers to really make our software something unique and special for you. So again, here's our just little agenda today. We're going to go over the solution to these problems. So Roche is going to give us a demo. We're going to go over the key benefits of it, Q&A, and then we got a little something special for you, a little gift. So first off, I'm just going to hand it over to Sarosh. So Sarosh, this is your time. Take it away.
Yeah. Thank you, Joe. So as you might have already been involved in somewhere in the design process, and since it is centered around the designing, the number one challenge is that I've seen, I've met hundreds of people from past 4 years that they came across with that, designing the project. So most of the software that we are seeing right now in the industry are relying on the 3D data. And so basically, if you have been living in an urban area, you're just providing your services to the urban area. There's a high chance that you get a better aerial picture. And that will also allow you to actually model the rooftop really clearly with the actual measurement without going on a site. So those days have gone where you have to go to do the site survey, collect information, and then wait for information to be collected and send the proposal to the customer. But now, since the technology has taken over and now we can do the remote analysis, the challenge also came where we have multi-story building. So it's really hard for a 3D software to build up and pick up the design. Also, in case of where if you are going to the rural area or the remote location, the image quality might not be really good. The alternative that are available, so currently most of the software are being used by, they're using Google Map as a base model to map these to use this imagery. But the other alternatives are also available, like Eagle View. You can do drone shot. You can also go for near map. But those alternatives actually are expensive, and if you just want to complete one design, you end up paying $10 to $20 extra just for the map quality. So the number one challenge we are facing here that I have seen most of the cases is to be able to get the right measurement, right obstruction modeling, and right height of the building. So that's what I've seen so far. Shane, do you have any idea about, since you have more than 18 years of industry experience, what do you think about this? How many times have you seen that people have designed something and they later got to know that, okay, there was a tree there that they forgot to model, or maybe the height wasn't correct, and because of that, it actually ended up giving the wrong data to the customer?
Yeah, it actually happens quite often. It's a pretty common occurrence, particularly in the remote or the newer areas. So you're spot on.
So yeah, that's it. I think so we need to solve this problem by being creative. Either we rely on the technology or we rely on the experience. We have to make some assumption in order to address these things. At times, we also have software such as ours, which can help you to model these kind of rooftop pretty easily and to be able to get you right dimension of the building so that you don't end up making a wrong assumption and sending a wrong proposal to the customer. Because sending the wrong proposal, doing the wrong analysis on the design side may end up it may lead you to actually sending up the wrong data about the payback period, because if your generation is not correct, that's also going to lead you lose the lead at some point if they know. So this is the first challenge that we see. Now we can move on to the second one. Now, so second challenge, which is also related to design. What I've seen so far is it's what most of the people are doing is, they're taking an easy way. In order to, when you are going to meet a customer or you are going to send him a proposal, you will have less time to actually react. So what they end up doing is they are not doing the irradiance analysis or proper site survey. They are just placing the panel on the rooftop without even knowing which side is actually best to place the panel and which side we need to avoid placing the panel. For example, in the first image on top right corner, it's quite visible. So we have run through a radiance analysis in that, and it is quite visible. The yellow region in this where we are getting the maximum radiance, and the blue region is where we are getting the lesser radiance because of the height of the adjacent building, or maybe the tree is causing the shadow. So it's really important for us to model the rooftop correctly and also able to see what's the availability of solar on my rooftop so that I choose to place the panel where I can get the most out of it. So in the second one, I've shown you, I've tried to place the panel on the east side of the first roof and on the south side and east side of the second roof. Since there is no shadow on the first roof, you can see the panels, all panels are green. The green indicates that you are getting the TSRF you are getting, or the sunlight you are getting is maximum over there. And the one which is shown in a black or red or yellow spectrum are the one which is getting shaded, and you're going to end up losing some generation or some point of percentage of the generation, and you'll end up compromising your overall system side. So if you are not using microinverters or optimizers, and if these panels are in there in the design, you'll end up having a really huge loss, and that will actually lead you to provide less efficient system.
So, Shane, I want to bring it back to you for a second. You said you have 18 years of experience in the industry. So how important is what Sarosh just went over to the sale and ultimately to, the finances, to the cost of the system, to the generation, and, to the homeowner and to the installer itself? Because I mean, I've installed systems before where on the map it said it was covering 105%, but then when they installed it, they were like, oh, it's actually 95%. So it's not actually fully there. And that was a very awkward conversation that I had to make with the homeowner. So how is it that having a software that does all this in real time, super important to the industry?
Yeah, I think we've got a few things happening inside the industry right now. You guys are seeing all the turmoil, right, with the big players shutting down. Salespeople have been promising systems that they're literally making promises that the system cannot uphold, right, the promise. So having all of the accuracy in the proposal tool is crucial for you to separate yourself from what else is happening, right? Everything we do is so that you show up and you can become the expert, so that you can say, look, there was a tree here that's going to shade. We're going to remove this tree. We'll place a smaller tree. We'll place a different type of tree, so that the homeowner can see the changes that happen. So yeah, to what Sarosh is saying and Joe is saying, it's crucial for you to be the expert in the house and to be able to model it. And then you're actually going to say, this is how much it's going to produce. And when it gets installed, you can stand behind that production instead of making promises. Then you don't ever want to talk to the customer again because you know that your promises weren't right. That's not what we're interested in. So everything we're talking about is so you can be the expert in the house and then see them in the grocery store 3 years from now and be completely comfortable.
Yeah, and I think that is something that, you know, the industry itself kind of has unfortunately a black mark on is people selling things that aren't actually true. And so with ARCA 360, we've taken painstaking amount of time to make our systems accurate, easy to use, and easy to understand for the regular homeowner. So Sarosh, back to you.
Yeah, yeah, Joe. Like I completely agree with Shane and Joe's point of view. Like Shane has mentioned that the competing the big companies are actually promising, and most of the people actually, when I was selling, I have promised something, and when I end up not delivering it, it was an embarrassing situation for me. So I have trained to myself to be an expert on the design, on the demonstration, and the software, so that I don't end up being in a situation where I have to feel a setback on what I have to offer. Yeah, so that's quite important for all of us, I think. Now we can talk about the third challenge that's also related to the design, is the maximizing energy production. So I've seen it quite often, and that's actually related to the past two slides that we have discussed. It's about the design, it's about the optimization and shadow analysis. So some of the most of the guy you are working in the industry, a homeowner receives multiple quotation from all of the salespeople, all of the company working in that region, because we have limited market, we have all the people competing for every lead that is being generated. So you don't want to end up being the guy who has just blindly placed the panels, not looking at the tree, not looking at the shade. So you can see the generation that they got in the first image is 1496 kilowatt hour per kilowatt peak in a whole year. And the second guy who has seen that there was a shading due to the tree, and he ended up optimizing the system. Now the generation for the same plant at a lesser price, he's going to end up delivering more. That's going to be 1523 kilowatt hour per kilowatt peak. So it's really important that you want to be the second guy always while proposing to your customer, being able to educate the why you are doing what we are doing, why you are not planning panel over there. So that's about the panel placement and optimization point of view. Then a couple of points that needs to be consideration that everyone needs to actually think about is choosing the right weather data, because everyone focus so much on the output, and we are going to give generation guarantee or kind of some kind of proposal. In the proposal, we are going to say, okay, for the first year, you're going to generate some amount of unit or some offset. But that's the lifetime of the solar is actually between 15 to 25 years. And you don't want to end up choosing the wrong weather data. So always cross-verify when you are selecting an address or when you are doing the irradiance analysis to have the nearest weather data point. So you get right irradiance analysis, right wind speed calculation. That will also help you to do the structural analysis that most of the people actually don't pay attention to. So it's really important for to select the right data point. Another problem that I've seen people are doing is choosing or not choosing the right set of module and inverter. It's been happening in the industry a lot. I've been seeing that for some reason or for no reason, people are using optimizer where there is no shading, right? Increasing the cost of the installation. And that doesn't make sense. The whole use of the optimizer or the microinverter is to make sure that even if some panels are in shade, you don't compromise with the quality of production by eliminating those particular panel from the whole string. But if you don't have shade, or if you have already done the optimization, there is no point using the optimizer or the microinverter in that design. And you can end up saving more. You can either increase your profit margin, or you can decrease the cost for the homeowner. So this kind of point actually helps to make you look like a really professional service provider, and that can win you more sales. Now, I would like to know the opinion of Shane. So what do you think, Shane?
No, I think it's crucial. I mentioned it earlier, right? If you look at the top and you look at the bottom, the top, you're selling something to the homeowner that has no benefit, right? Then that's where you roll in as an expert. If you're competing, then you ask the homeowner, do you have a design that I can look at? What did they already put? Where did they put it? And then you can go highlight why your design is better, right? If you're not competing, then you do a preemptive strike. to say, listen, there are other places I can put modules on your roof, but they don't have the same kind of performance. It would be a waste of your money. So either way, as a salesperson, or if you're an owner and you have salespeople, they can utilize this tool to differentiate themselves as the expert.
And I think that's an
Yeah,
important
definitely. And
spot too that you can do is you can say, as you mentioned before, and as Sarosh brought up, is you can show them the top image and say, look, I can add 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 more panels on top of your roof, but it's not going to really give you much because of this tree. And so let me show you this secondary image. So you can kind of show them the incorrect version first and then explain why. And you can do that in real time with the homeowner right there. And you can explain, look, this one's red, this one's orange, these two are yellow and light green. They're not going to work great for you. That's why we didn't place them there. So you can kind of already answer those questions, especially with a software that takes these things into account.
yeah, I agree. Okay, so moving on to our next challenge. Joe, would we like to do a quick poll before we jump onto the board challenge to know where we are, our audience are
Yes,
actually?
so we are going to post a poll. The question for the poll is going to be, what is the biggest challenge you face as a residential solar installer? So the options that you have are handling complex roof structures, maximizing energy production, accurate shading analysis, client communication, and proposal generation. Yeah, so feel free to take some time, answer those questions. I know for myself, it's going to be accurate shading analysis just because trees come and go. Obstructions are there, pitch is there. Shane, what would you think? What would be your post?
Maybe the client communication, right? The ease of going back and forth. I'm sitting at the homeowner's table trying to say, what about this? What about this? How easily can you move things around? And show them a real-time change of where they want modules, and then show them the production.
Okay. What do you think, Sarosh?
I think I agree with Shane, because most of the time, no matter how prepared you are going to meet a client, and then he'll end up, making some requests that you might have not thought about. So ability to be flexible and to be able to adapt to the changes is the best thing that I can do. And I would like to be prepared. So I think I've gone to a meeting where I have my homeowner asked me to actually, okay, remove all the panels from my rooftop. Can you do it on my backyard? And then I was like, oh my God, I was not prepared for it. So at that time, I did not have a right tool to do that. I wish that I could. And then I went back to him after a day or two when I came back and I've consulted with my designer. So I always wanted to have something which can enable me. Okay, this is the design that I've done for you. Let me know if you want any changes from the aesthetic point of view. And that's where my challenge 4 is going to emphasize more on. Is that client I've seen are now more concerned about the aesthetic of the rooftop, aesthetic of how the roof is gonna look like, more than the savings, the tax benefit, the environmental benefits, etc. Of course, these points actually plays role, but I think aesthetics also is the one that people started paying attention to, and they're always ready to pay more for the aesthetics.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so I think we have the results. We're going to post those here pretty soon. Waiting for those to calculate. Here we go. So the biggest one, oh, there's a tie. It looks like handling complex roof structures, accurate shading analysis, client communication and proposal generation, and maximizing energy production didn't get a single vote. So there we go. So as you can see, these are kind of the biggest things in the industry, and it's something that we've addressed. Handling complex roof structures. As you can see, we have this roof structure here that we were able to very easily generate in the next couple minutes here. Sarosh is going to show you how to actually do that in Arca. And then accurate shading analysis. Again, we've depicted that in Arca 360, you can actually showcase where the panels would properly go, how to get the most out of it. and how to get the best generation for your customers. So we're going to continue on here to challenge number 4, which was actually one of the results here. So Sarosh, back to you.
Yeah. Thank you, Joe. So like I've already mentioned about my experience with meeting a client and not able to actually close the deal right away because I had to do some changes. So now the industry has adopted and have gone really ahead. We have all the, we have tablets, we have tools that can actually help you do the changes, slight changes in front of the customer. So aesthetics, of course, plays the role here. I wanted to give one more example where I actually was demonstrating the software to a customer. He was an installer in Allen, Texas, and he told me that, okay, how many pages do you have in your proposal? So I said, okay, we have 12 pages. What do you want? He said, no, I want more than 20 pages. I said, why? Then the answer was quite amusing for me. He said, I went to a homeowner. I've gone and I've met him. I've showed him the proposal, and he said, I have a proposal have more than 25 pages. That means the guy knows more. So you need to handle all kind of, these conversations where you're going to meet up a lot of clients that they request all of these to you. So you want to make sure that you have a tool that can handle all kind of objections. So if you want to show more, so let's say as an example, I've shown on the right side, I've shown the production versus consumption graph, someone who's more technical, who understand, okay, what I'm consuming right now, how the solar installation is going to impact. You can show the graph to them, and you're going to talk about the production side point of view. Second kind of a person or the homeowner you're going to meet is going to more concerned about their cash flow or how it's going to pay back to them. So for them, you might need to focus and emphasize on the financial analysis of it. How, let's say if you're going through loan, you're going through cash, you are adopting any other financing option, what's the tax saving? If I'm spending, let's say, thousands of dollars into the system, what's my benefit on it? So you can show it in the presentation format. Or else, there are people I've met who doesn't want all these kind of information. They just want some essential information of 2-3 pages. So you can help. You can actually use our software to actually customize the number of pages you want to show in the proposal. What needs to go in? What what is the waste of time for them? So you can take control of it. And one more thing that we have tried to experiment and we have found really impressive result. We have a QR code. So if you are doing the design in 3D, the customer right now, most of the software that I've seen, they are doing that going to do the design in 3D, but when you're sending the proposal to the customer is just seeing a data sheet. He might not even understand what kilowatt hour means, what units means, or the payback, how it works. But they want to know how it's going to look like. So the QR actually helps in the proposal, where they have a proposal. They can scan the QR while they are talking to the customer, and they can see how the design or how their home is going to look like after placing the panel. So we have the QR and the scan I've just put just to make this interactive, so that you guys, whoever is attending the webinar, can open their phone and they're trying to scan the QR. And you will get to see what customer or your homeowner is going to see from their mobile phone if you are sending the proposal to them. It's a quick interaction method. You can also copy the URL. You can share it on the WhatsApp chat, or maybe send through a SMS. They'll click on the link and they'll get to see the 3D model. So it's really impressive to help them visualize how it's going to look like without even meeting them. You can close the deal remotely too.
So and everyone on the webinar can actually scan this right now and they get it on their smartphone.
Yep. If you haven't done it, just scan it right quick, take a look at it. It is painless, and we will keep moving forward, but give about 10 more seconds for anybody who's wanting to get their camera active.
Yeah, it's interactive, and in Arca 360, you can actually show, you can customize what you want to show in it. So if you want to show financial analysis, you can show that. If you want to just show generation, you can show that. And this is a great tool because, the people who don't have time and just want to document proposal, they're not really getting the full experience of the 3D design and that powerful. So you can actually show this. And I know we're talking about residential, but I do want to make a note that you can also do this for commercial as well. Same tool, same layout, everything you can do for commercial. And probably in the next upcoming weeks, we're going to do one specifically focused on commercial and the benefits for that. So come back for that. So we're going to move on to the next slide. Sarosh?
Yeah. The next challenger, and it's painful for all the installer that I've met so far. It's essentially the engineering services meeting the requirement of growing demand and the permitting process. So most of the time I've seen that you might have done the design, have closed the deal. Now it's time to put together the permit plan, send it to AGs and get their approval. But due to the lack of information and expertise, people end up, or maybe you are going for some affordable, cheaper solution alternative. You're not the designer who's doing the permit package is not aware of the AJ compliances, AJ code, end up submitting the purpose and then permits, and they're going to get rejected or the revision is required. It's going to increase your installation time. It's also going to increase your delivery time. It's going to increase the revenue as well. So that's pain, and that's the biggest pain I've ever seen to the installer. So it's really important that you need to pay attention on of what ages you're going to use, the codes, compliances used in the design. You also need to pay attention to the structural consideration. Most of the people don't pay attention to the structural consideration. They treat the design in California and Florida same. By the way, if most of the guys don't know that the wind velocity in California and Florida varies a lot, so you need to provide more structural strength when you're doing the design in Florida, and that's why the permits are being rejected over there. And the cost of one permit, I think, if you include the cost of electrical stamping and structural stamping, it's going to come somewhere close to $300 to $500. And if you're doing revision, it's going to cost you more, $300 to $400 just for one revision. And 1 out of 10 permits submitted in US are being revised or even being rejected at some point because of lack of readings available, or you might have overlooked the codes. So this is, I think, is really important, and we should be focusing more on.
Yeah, I know operating in San Diego, those permits, you have to like submit them on like the right moon. It has to be the right tide. Yeah, I got to make sure everyone's got lunch, and then maybe they'll look at it and submit it and approve it. So, Shane, have you experienced or are you seeing any issues with permits or permit revisions or permit approvals kind of across your bandwidth?
Yeah, I would say this is one, right? If I go all the way back to whenever I first started, if we go to the proposal, and I didn't mention it earlier, but back then there were no proposal tools, right? Every single solar company was doing their own makeshift homemade proposal tool. And at the same time, they were adding staff to be able to create the engineering. And so I focus inside a business on a variable cost model, right? Because I'm a revenue guy, I have to make payroll. And so the transition has been to go to third parties to create the engineering, the plan sets, the permit application documents. So there is no question it is an issue throughout, no matter how big your business is or isn't, right? At some point, you're going to deal with the fact that are you going to create them internally or externally? And so what we've created is, as Sarosh was telling you, this ability to go effectively and efficiently get permit sets, one line drawings, the whole shoot and match. So anyhow, that would be, Joe, to your question. What I have watched through the years is this this migration over to more of a variable cost model.
Yeah, we're still seeing every now and then people coming in and like, oh yeah, I just have like an Excel spreadsheet, and it's like, oh man, you need something more than that.
Yep.
And it's also great too, is that, again, just to reiterate, is that you can do all of this without leaving Arca. You don't need a third party. You don't need someone else to do it. You can do everything inside Arca. One domain, one login. You can go from address verification, 3D design, as Sarosh was showing you, shade analysis reports, mapping, and then you can do the permitting and structural engineering after that. So, Sarosh, do you have any more comments on this page?
No, I think we have covered everything. Just one thing that I wanted to talk about that I know you guys have been talking to a lot of customers, and you've already been in a company where you were doing the installation as well. Have you ever came across with an incident where, you know, having an internal team doing the permit is actually cheaper for you than, you know, relying on the outsourcing the services, engineering services?
Yeah, I feel like having an internal team doing it is cheaper because they're able to make those revisions and everything like that. And, you know, having someone go to a third party, there's that communication breakdown. You know, it's like a game of telephone. You send one email, they're gonna misconstrue it, or and then it's like, hey, I need a revision, and that person isn't answering the phone or something. But having an internal team like the internal team that we have here at ARCA do it for you with the design, they're able to come in and see everything. I think that's extremely beneficial, not for just a cost standpoint, but for a time standpoint as well.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And I think the relationship also plays a lot of role. So let's say if I'm comfortable working with you, I would like to, you know, I will be able to communicate easily with you if it is revision or trying to say anything with you. But if I have to work every time I have to order the services, I have to talk to someone else, and I kind of, you know, he doesn't know how I would like to work, and it's kind of frustrating for me to actually
Yeah,
keeping the new people and trying to get comfortable with them.
totally. Um, so yeah, we're gonna start our next poll, which is which ARCA 360 feature would most benefit your business? The four answers you have are fast solar design layouts, accurate shadow and generation analysis, professional pre-sales proposals, and integrated CRM for solar business management. Yeah, Sarosh, what do you think? What do you think would is going to be the top answer here?
I think I'll go with all of it
All
because
of it?
as a all of it, yeah, of course. If I had an option, it should not be a single choice. It should be a multiple choice, and I'll go with all of it because I don't want to compromise with anything. Either having professional pre-sales proposal, accurate shadow modeling, and generation. That all actually an integral part of a whole whole problem. So you need to solve everything. You need to be professional. You need to be fast. You need to be intercept things faster, and you also need to be to make it cost efficient too, so that everything matters.
Yeah. Shane, how about
Agreed.
yourself?
Yeah,
Same
the
for
biggest
me.
example is, yeah, the biggest example is let's say if I'm using CRM, different CRM, different services, and different subscription of different platform for, like you said, Joe, that we also are having commercial designs. We can support commercial design and residential design. So, and most of the time I've seen people are actually treating commercial and residential design differently, and having two subscription end up paying more. What they
Mhm.
have what they have done is actually having one subscription, and then they can actually handle everything in there itself.
Yeah, to your
So that's
point,
Absolutely.
Sarosh, I met with a group on Monday, a big EPC residential and commercial up in the northeast of the US. And they have 4 softwares that they're operating in, trying to link them all. And it just became a complete cluster for them. That's how they ended up getting a presentation for us and start pursuing a relationship. So yes, great points. All right, where's the outcome here?
Yeah,
Joe?
we're gonna take a little bit, get those numbers, and they're gonna pop up here pretty soon. Here we go. So it looks like we got another tie. Fast solar design layouts, professional pre-sales proposals, and then coming in second is accurate shadow and generation analysis. And then integrated CRM for solar business management got no votes. So yeah, so as you can see, and as you'll show during the demo, is that we're able to do fast layouts that have the accurate shadow and generation analysis that all roll into a professional pre-sales proposals that you can customize to your liking and to your solar businesses, individuality. So we're going to jump onto the next spot here, which goes over our solutions here that we've talked about. We've talked about intelligent design software that help you with designs. The shading analysis, the panel placement, the all the generation data, everything like that. One thing that we have here that I would say is very unique to other people, other industries or softwares, is that we have designed professionals to help you. We're here to help you. We have people who are certified, who've been doing this for years, people who want to help you. And if you create a design and you're like, I don't really know how this looks, maybe I can design it better, reach out to us. We're here to help you. Also, we have services here. So if you have people who, you don't want to design anything, you just want to send it off and have it come back, we have people here who are certified that will turn around those proposals to you in a timely manner. But also, and Shane can attest to this, not a lot of people do that, is that we'll reach out to you and be like, hey, your request was a little funky. Is that really what you meant to do? Is that really what you wanted? How important is that, Shane, Sarosh, having people who are real life people who know what solar looks like to get this move forward?
Yeah, it's the matter of success or not success. So I think it's crucial.
Absolutely. So we are going to jump into the demo. So Roche, if you can give us a quick demo on how to design and what that looks like in real time.
Yeah, sure.
The screen is yours.
Yeah, let me start sharing my screen. I'll not take more than, I think, 5 to 10 minutes of all the people here. I know that we are also running out of time. We need to finish everything real quick. I hope my screen is visible to everyone.
Yes.
All right. So like I've mentioned about all the 5 challenges and how we are going to help or solve all the challenges, where we have mentioned, okay, we have the integrated all-in-one solar design platform. So our solar design platform comes directly with the CRM, inbuilt CRM. That CRM key you can either use in-house, and if you have your own CRM, you can also integrate your CRM with our software as well. So whatever information you are putting, you can also automatically populate it over here, and you can do the automation and other tasks here. So let's get started with a quick design. Like I mentioned, so here's what a design is going to look like. So you can get started by putting in the information about the client. We have activity timeline. So you will get to know when you have created the lead, when it came, and what task have you done so far. So you will have a track record of everything. You can also use the document storage to store any kind of document related to the project. And since you can, at times you might want to just get this data done for a particular client, all you need to do is log in from your mobile, and you can get the data out that you've stored in the cloud storage of our software. Now we can go to the full details where we'll have information related to the project. So I've mentioned about choosing the right weather file. So you have ability, so software automatically does that for you. So it actually selects a weather file for you, which is nearest to that location. You'll also have a couple of more options to see what weather file you want to see. Apart from that, you can go to the project info page. We have intelligent generability API integrated with our software. So based on the location, you will be able to fetch the electricity detail. You can enter the right electricity detail either on month wise. If you have utility API, if you have green button data, you can input using those information, using those methods, and you can input the consumption profile of the client. That will help you as a baseline to define what project size you would want to go for, and what could be the size of the project. Now let's move on to the designing section. So if you created the project and if you move here in the design section, you'll see 4 options available. One is self-design. So if you have the software subscription, you can click on the new design, start the new design, and do it by yourself. And like Joe mentioned, if you don't want to handle a lot of work by yourself, if you have a small team that you want to focus more on sales, do not want to handle any engineering or proposal related tasks, you can also pay. You can also subscribe to our services, and you can click on the order now. And our team of experts who've been doing this from past several years can do the proposal for you. They can put the permit to packages together for you, and we can also do the stamping. So let's get started with the quick design. So I've already created a design just to save time here to show you how it's look like on our software and how we're going to manage it real quick. So this is a typical rooftop that we have seen. So as you can see, this is a multifamily house where we have to model the rooftop. We already have the consumption profile. So we have the tool on the bottom, on the left side tray, where you can use those tools to trace out the layout. And with the help of Google 3D, you can auto fit and you can get the correct height of everything on the software. So I've already created the trees, the obstructions, the rooftop here. Now I would like to see whether my irradiance is, where my irradiance is falling. I can just simply click on this map, and that will actually automatically give me the irradiance map, or the heat map we call it, on the rooftop, which will tell what phase or what part of the roof is best to place the panel. Now the second point is, even if without running on the irradiance analysis, I think we are smart enough to know that south-facing panels, south-facing rooftop are the one which gets most of the sunlight. So we'll end up placing the panels more. So in order to place the panels, in here you can see these are the yellow lines are the one which is telling you we are getting the maximum irradiance, and the orange and the darker blue ones are the one which is giving you the indication of shading. So I can turn this off for now because I know where to place the panels. So I'll click on this one. I can also just, within a click, I can click on fill phase and it will automatically place the panels on the rooftop. We have module inventory of more than 50,000 modules and panels. More than 5,000 batteries and more than 10,000 inverters being used in the industry. So all you need to do is select the module. If you want to do any changes, you search the module here, click on it, and it will change the distribution according to the panel's size and all the parameters already been considered. So I'm going to place real quick here and on this rooftop too, just to show you the difference. Now, let's say on a typical design, you will just stop here. You will continue. You can just go out from here after placing the inverter, and that's it. But in our software, you can actually help, and you can help visualize how much solar each and every panels are getting. So we have a feature called irradiance analysis on solar axis. So irradiance analysis tells you the heat distribution on the rooftop, and solar axis tells you the irradiance distribution on the panels. So you can see the dark green, there are a spectrum of color over here. So let's say if I click on the dark green one, so you can see there is a term called solar axis. It's 93.2%. That indicates for the whole year, between 9 to 4 p.m. on an average, 93.4% time, these panels will get direct sunlight. And you can see that in this particular one, we have one panel which is getting green or yellow. It's 88%. So you're going to lose some efficiency because of the shadow of the chimney or any obstruction that is available on the rooftop. Same goes for this one, in which since it is far from the tree, it is getting the maximum irradiance, 92.7%, and which is closer to the tree is getting 84%. So how you handle this? So you already identify by the color coding that these panels are not actually the one that you want to keep in your design. So either you can delete it one by one like this. And if you're working on a broader design or a bigger design, all you need to do is save the design, click on the optimize option, and you can move this optimization bar and set the level of optimization that you want from your design. That will get rid of the least performing panels, leaving your design optimized, and you will have more PR, you will have more specific generation by using less panels, and you can educate that to your client too, why you have not kept the panel over there. So once the panel has been placed, now the next point is you want to space the inverter. So you click on inverter menu here. You have all type of inverter available, whether it is micro, string, central, or hybrid. So I'm going to go with the micro for now. I'll select any micro inverters. Let's say I'm going to go with this Enphase. And all I need to do is drag and drop and complete the design. Now my design is complete. But before going to the proposal, I would like to see what's the parameter of my design, whether it is actually it's actually offsetting the electricity bill of the customer or not. So you can just click on the calculate generation before moving forward to make sure you have the right set of data here. So the annual generation is 29 megawatt hour, spec gen is 1359, and the energy offset it's going to get is 170%. So if your goal is to achieve 150%, 100%, or 50%, based on this outcome, you can adjust the panels. So you can either go and delete this, let's say, because we are already producing a lot of module, or you can just go ahead with this one. So now the panel has been placed, and if you have in-house design team that can do the permit, we have other extensive feature that I think we can cover more on the personalized demo that you can book right after the webinar. You can download the CAD export of this design. You can download the electrical light diagram automatically created from the software. You can also click on the design, go back here, put your pricing information, choose your financing option, and your proposal will be ready to download and share with the customer. So to give you how it looks like, I'll quickly share a proposal. So this is how a proposal is going to look like. So like I said, some people want more, some people want less. So you'll have the ability to choose the language of the proposal and what you want to share in the 3D model, what pages you want to share with the customer. Let's say if I want to cover all of this, I'll just select all and it will be visible. Otherwise, I can disable a couple of it. So let's go with this one. Where first page is going to cover the cover page. It is white label product, so your company's logo is going to be replaced by is going to replace this logo and the information about here every page. It will have the table of content, user note, solar value proposition for the people who are looking more than just cutting the savings. System layout with a QR code, 3D model. You have BOM downloaded. You have production and saving curve. You'll have site evaluation data in terms of shadow analysis. You have field irradiance to each and every array. You have financial analysis, and you'll also have the bill saving real quick. So I think that's pretty much everything about the platform. Now I would like to take, if you guys have any questions or anything, over to you, Joe.
Yeah, thank you so much. That was perfect. We're gonna do one last poll, and then we're gonna jump directly into our Q&A. So the poll that we have here, the question is, would you be interested in trying out Arca 360 for your solar business? Yes, maybe, not sure, or no. We're gonna give you guys a couple of seconds to answer that, and then we're going to jump directly into the Q&A as we already have some questions going on there. So can you give you guys about a couple more seconds to do that, and then we'll post the results there. All right, and let's get the results shown. Okay, so yeah, it looks like yes, absolutely. Some say maybe, and others say not sure. I have some concerns. Those are all great. Those are all great answers. So next, we're going to go into our Q&A. We already have some questions populated here. And the first question here is the software able to assist with O&M services or project management? Sarosh, you want to answer that one?
Yeah, so we are developing software. Like I said, we are always working on the customer's feedback, and we already have seen this because we are covering a broad spectrum of the software already. So our plan, the whole Arca 360 actually implies a 360-degree approach of the industry. So we have a CRM software already in place that works really well with the design software. We have services. The next part that is under development is a project management that we are working on. For sure, some part of it is already been implemented. For example, the task management, the activity timeline that you can use, a small company can use that still. But the comprehensive project management is a really vast topic and it's under development. I will be able to tell more about it. And I think the product engineer will be the one who should be telling the timeline. So I don't have the timeline for you, but yes, it is in our pipeline and we are working on it.
Perfect. And next question we got here is, can your software design and model in a battery and generator? Yes, we can. We absolutely can. We actually have a pretty unique and a pretty special battery calculator inside of our tool. You can choose 3 different types of battery modeling that you want to do, and they take into consideration, usage, net metering, system size, and just what the homeowner wants to do with the battery itself. Sarosh, Shane, any other answer you'd like to take on those?
No, that's spot on.
Perfect. All right, gonna leave it open for a couple more minutes for questions. All right. Okay, so now we're gonna give you guys a special offer for everyone who's joining the webinar. You guys get a 1-month free trial of the platform. So that is 30 days of the platform that you guys are able to have full access to. You guys can design, build, do whatever you want. We're also going to give you live design support session. So you guys schedule a time with myself or Sarosh, and we'll be able to walk you through how to create a design, walk through it and everything like that. And then lastly, we're going to give you guys a 20% discount on your first permit plan order so that, you know, you guys can test it out and you guys get a discount on top of that. So here's a QR code to log in for your 30-day free trial. Now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, I'm going to log in. You're going to take my credit card information. And then as Sarosh shared with us earlier, 3 months down the line, you're going to realize like, oh, I'm paying for a software I'm not actually using. So with Arca 360, we're extremely easy to work with and we understand the complications and, you know, life gets busy. So I'm going to tell you guys how to cancel right now so that after 30 days, if it's not your jam, you just let us know. All you need to do to cancel is contact myself, Sarosh, or our support team. We will not even question it. We won't, you know, beg you to stay. We won't plead. Shane won't show up at your door crying. We'll just say, okay, done, cancel it. We'll send you a confirmation notice and that's it. Super simple to do. Again, all you have to do is send us an email if it's not your jam. If you guys have any questions or if you guys want to have a more detailed one-on-one demo, again, myself or Sarosh, we're going to be able to walk you through it and answer all your questions in any time allotted. So that's our webinar for today. Again, if you guys have any questions, please reach out. Please let us know if you guys have any questions that way, and we'll be able to walk you through it. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you all very much.